Hello, everybody. Welcome to Copeland Academy, and we want to quickly learn how to use Freema Motion, or now named Motion.dev, and we want to pretty much learn how to create really cool animations on the web, just like what we have on our official website. Right, some really cool stuff. We want to be able to do some really cool stuff like this, right? Yeah, so the PC, the RAM, I guess the RAM is just full. That's why it's starting to act slow. But yeah, but apart from that, you can see that our website is smooth, right? I could just refresh and then you can see smooth, just like that. And all these animations are done with Freema Motion or Motion.dev in this situation, right? So yeah, let's not waste too much time and let's just get to it. So the first thing is, let's clone our repo. I'm intentionally starting with this because I realized most developers are beginners and don't really know how to clone the repos in a very simple way, like without stressing with the terminal and all that stuff. So yeah, we can just go to github.com, sign up, log in, and once you open up your home page, once you are logged in, or your dashboard, you can come and click on this plus sign here, and then click on new repository, or you can just go to your repositories, and you can pretty much, yeah, so then right, once you're here, you can pretty much just click on this again, or you can come and click on this right here, and then yeah, that would also open up a new repository form for you to fill, right? So now we want to be able to name our motion app, right? So let's just say uh motion, okay, motion tutorial, motion tutorial, uh yeah, motion tutorial, Copeland Academy, Copeland Academy. All right, is it the right spelling? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Right. So then the next thing is, I mean, if you want, you can pass in your description, but it's not important. The next thing is we want to set it to public, yeah, because I'm going to have to share the URL to the repository in the description so you can check it out yourself. And we are going to enable readme, because like enabling readme just makes the whole process a whole lot more simple. um yeah, yeah, there's a reason for that, right? So yeah, just enable the readme and click on create repository, then allow the repository to get created. Then once you're done, you can just copy it, right? Like you can just copy, click on code, and then copy this. Then when you're done, you open up your VS Code, click on clone git repository right here. If you don't see that, you can just come and click it's right here, right? Or you can click here, go to source control, which will open this, and then you click this right here. If you have VS Code installed freshly, you're going to have to click here and log in or whatever, yeah, or sign up or whatever. And then once you're done logging in, it would allow you to open up, see these options, right? Exactly. So I'm going to quickly do a control V to paste the get URL link. Now we have to select a place where we want to keep these files, right? So I'll just say Copeland Academy, Copeland Academy, and I'll just create that folder, and I'll just select that repository as a destination. And then what I'll do is I'll just open it right here in the same window, right? Cool. Okay, so yeah, let's just trust the folder and continue. I would delete the readme, right? The readme just basically allows us to go through all these steps a lot more easier. For some reason, maybe things have changed, but back when, I was using this method, especially when I was a little bit inexperienced, yeah, the readme just made the thing a whole lot more simple for me. So yeah, but now that we have this already cloned. What we want to do is we now want to use Vite to generate a React project, right? There are many ways of generating a React project. We can use Next.js. We could use Next.js. We could use React Router. We could use Tanstack Stats, with which uses React Router at the end of the day. We could also use Vite, right? But just so we can move fast, let's just use Vite for today. So you can see I came to the vite.dev website. We ain't getting started. I just scroll down a little bit to get to this command. So I'll just copy this command right here. I'll come inside the terminal, make sure that it's inside the root directory, and then I'll just right click and then paste just like that. And now that we are here, I just want to say, create the React file inside the current folder or the current directory that we are in. So I can just do my / and then hit enter, and then that should open up pretty much like a bunch of questions or a bunch of options that we can pretty much select from. And yeah, that should be it. So you can see right here that it's loading. I usually like to use bun actually. Yeah, I like to use bun because it's fast. So let me just cancel that, and then oh no, let me copy. I don't want to type it, so I'll just copy that and then paste. Yeah, nice. So I'm pasting that. Yeah, you see bun is fast. So we have the project name. Yeah, there's not supposed to ask for project name, since I said we should use /, right? So /, just like that. Yeah, and then now we should just go for it. Say, yeah, we want React, and then we want, you see we have a bunch of options here to use Tanstack Router, to use React Router version 7, and like a bunch of other ones here, right? But yeah, we just want to use our normal TypeScript. Roll down Vite future default. Now let's just stick with the basics. Yes, install with bun. Yeah, and then that should pretty much be it. So right now we are doing our bun install, and right after that we should be able to start our dev server. You see, bun is very fast. Okay, so now our dev server has been started. I'll just hold Control on the keyboard and then click on the link in order for it to open up. Let me check. Okay, it looks like the sound is pretty cool. Nothing too crazy is going on. So yeah, so you can see that we have everything here. The default Vite React application has been set up. What we are going to do is we're just going to clean up the project a little bit. So I'll open up the src. I'll go to the app.tsx right here. I'll just clean it all up just like that. Okay, so now we clean that up. I can just remove this by selecting and hitting Ctrl X to just cut them out. Do that for this one as well. Okay, we don't have to change anything here. We just go to the app.css, take that out, and go to the index.css, and I think, yeah, let me see. Some things are really cool here, right? So I guess we could like keep a bunch, like let's just keep the what is at the top. Like let's just keep what is at the top right here, right? Okay, and yeah, I think that should pretty much be it, right? All right, cool. All right, cool. Yeah, so let us just move on. So the first thing we want to do is we want to pretty much put in a div right here. So let's just create a div. I mean, let's center it. Let's center everything, right? Can quickly just center what we need to center, right? So all right, you know something, let's not do anything here. Let's just leave everything the way it was, and let's just put in Cropland Academy, or just Cropland, right? Just that. Let's just put that there, and then you can see that it's at the middle, right? It's at the middle right here. And so yeah, okay, cool. So we can see, let's quickly zoom in I just want to zoom in just like that so that we can see what is at the middle right here. Okay, so now that we have Copland in the middle, we want to now apply the motion.dev or the Freema motion animation to our text so that we can see what is going on. We are pretty much going to be learning just the basics here, right? So yeah, so the first thing is, let's go into the getting started or the get started so that it takes us to the docs. And we have a bunch of options here, but obviously we are using React, so we can just select React just like that, and then we will go there. Now it says what npm install motion, right? But if you're using bun, you just do oh, okay, yeah, it's still running. So if you're using bun, just do bun add motion just like that, and then that should pretty much do the trick. Okay, so you can see that it has been installed right there. And what we want to do now is, you can see that in order for you to be able to use the animated versions of the elements that we have, you're going to have to take motion from motion/react just like that right here. So we can just copy that, bring it back into the application, and then paste that right here. Okay, cool. Now that we have that, instead of saying div, just straight up div or just straight up ul and stuff like that, right? You see, we are just going to do a motion.div right here. You see, we have like really cool animations being displayed over here. You see really cool animations. Let's see what this one does. This one rotates. All right, let's see what this one does. Oh, I don't think we, okay, yeah, I need to hover. Okay, cool. So you can see how they work in general, right? So instead of using just the normal div, we are just going to say motion.div just like that, motion.div, and then we are just going to do the same thing here at the end, right? Motion.div just like that, right? So once you open the application that we are working with, let's just open it up like this. You see that there's nothing has occurred right here, right? Exactly. That is because there are a bunch of props that we need to pass in before we can be able to view the animation, right? Now there are two main props that we can pass in, which like is pretty much the basic thing that you need to know, right? The two main props is, we can set an initial. Here we are just going to work on opacity, right? Just for the basic stuff, and then as we keep going, we just advance to like much more advanced topics, right? So you can see that we have the initial, and we also have the animate prop right here. We have the animate prop. Oh, the animate prop right there. So we have the animate prop right here, and then we have the initial prop. So the initial prop is going to say, oh, if we render this Copland text right here, or this Copland div, if we render this motion.div right here, right, what should we see? Like, what motion should we expect right here, right? Now we can simply say, oh, once the screen loads, just expect an opacity of 0. Just make it 0, right? And what does that say? What does that mean? Oh, what's wrong? Yeah. And at the end of the day, what does that mean? That only means that if we, so see, you see, if I refresh, nothing shows. That is because you said, oh, if the page renders, let us make sure that the opacity is set to 0. So right now the div's opacity has been set to 0. What the animate prop does here is that it says, okay, now that we know what the div should be, or what the div should look like once the page loads, what should we do after we have experienced this initial, right? What should we do after? So what we want to do after we have experienced the initial is, we want to set the opacity to 1, and then that should pretty much do the job, right? So you can see, so look at what happens. So okay, so we are not seeing too much we are not seeing too much because we need to actually set a duration. I see the PC is actually fast. So if the animation is ongoing and we don't set a duration, we will not see what is going on, right? So in order for you to be able to set the duration, what you want to do is you want to bring out the transition prop, and then inside the transition prop, just say, oh, let's set the duration. Oh yeah, let's set the duration to be 0.8 or 0.5. Yeah, 0.5. And once we do that, you should see the text just pop out just like that within those seconds, right? So most of us are actually used to the milliseconds thing because it's programming and stuff like that, but when it comes to Freema motion, it just takes it in seconds. So you just have to specify it with seconds, and then that should pretty much do the job. So yeah, I don't know why I'm trying to, let me make it 5. Let me make it 5 so that it becomes very visible, right? You see, right? So you can see how visible it has become, right? So now we are seeing the opacity animation. I think the reason that I would account for this with is the fact that the PC is just fast. So it's like it's just rendering everything fast, right? So that is why we are not seeing the speech or the speed or the rate at which the animation is being delivered, right? We are not seeing it because the PC is fast. But yeah, if we set the duration to be longer, then yeah. But I'm pretty sure if you set the 0.8 duration for your PC, I'm pretty sure you should see the change a whole lot more easier, right? So yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, so that is basically it for setting up your Freema.dev and adding a simple opacity animation to your text. So in the next video, we'll move on to the position and some more intermediate concepts to get to understand Freema motion a lot more better. Okay, so thank you very much. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one.